To be a champion, it requires heart and a relentless desire to be great. Here at Jaguar Women's Basketball, we call that being Southern tough. Join us here at F.G. Clark Activity Center all season long. Tickets are on sale now for 2017-18. Go Jaguars.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome to Inside the Jaguar Nation. How y'all doing tonight? I'm Morgan Beard alongside the Aaron Lee, and we have a nice show for you because we're talking a little thing called a rivalry time between Southern and Grambling.
Yes, Morgan. Anytime Grambling squares off with Southern, it's always an intense battle, and it's no different on the basketball court. So let's get right to those highlights. The Grambling State Tigers taking on the Southern Jaguars over at the Activity Clark Center, and they would be dancing early. The Jaguars would get out to a big lead. Here, Jamar Sandifer drives and gets the two. Then Sidney Amunde comes with the MJ fadeaway. You see he gets a little bounce on that one. He would finish with 12 points, Morgan.
Oh, yeah, and he wasn't done just yet. Southern right here putting the ball down low, fighting hard inside for those points. But Grambling, they would fight back a little bit in this one, Aaron. Jason Perry Murray gets the Tigers within 10, but the Jags leading scorer, Jared Sam, had a game-high 19 points. He was sealing up with a jumper and a few late free throws. Jaguars defeat the Tigers 80-69. Coach Morris Scott gets his first SWAC win, and we're looking at some stats. Aaron, give it to us.
Here we go. Jared Sam, who's the leading scorer, 19 points, 10 rebounds, another double-double. He's starting to string some great games together. We got Jamar Sandifer, who we just saw in the highlights, 18 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, but here's the big kicker. The Jaguars shot 50% from the field. That's crazy on any basketball court.
That should be a guaranteed victory anytime you do that. Let's look at Jamar Sandifer for a little bit. We saw them both in the highlights, but 3 assists, 2 steals, you know, not that high, not a triple-double, not a double-double or anything, but you consistently get your hands in there, active hands. You fill up the stat sheet, get an assist here and there, and it just takes the load off that man on the top, Jared Sam, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And here's Coach Morris Scott talking about how his players played yesterday.
Great job of coming out and defending and rebounding the basketball. That was our main focus, was to rebound the basketball. The second half right there, they kind of got away from us. They got a couple offensive rebounds. The long ones kind of got away from us, but I thought for the most part, we kind of rebounded the basketball, which we did a better job. And just taking care of the basketball in the second half, we didn't do a great job, but we did a lot better than we did on Wednesday night. Just good to have you know, a more healthier team out there. We could have used everybody. We kind of held Chris Thomas still out for another game, but hopefully we'll get him back in full swing on Monday. It's just been real tough with guys going in and out of the lineup for different reasons, you know, sickness and injuries and everything like that. But it was good to have pretty much the full roster back tonight, and we was able to put it all together, and guys came in the game and did a job. Well, you know, he the straw that stirs it all. He kind of controls the pace of the game. He kind of got a real good feel on how we want to play and everything like that. So he's very important to what we do. So because he's able to control it, and he's also able to free up some other guys to get off the ball and make plays. And he does a great job of finding people in transition, and he's a great defender. So he's really vital and good for what we're trying to do. I always want to be a tough defensive team. We want to, you know, sit down and guard and rebound the basketball. That's the main thing we harp on all the time, is guarding and rebounding the basketball. If we can do those things, I think offense will just come, and which it did tonight. Like, we just ran the offense and wave. When you get stops, it's a lot easier to run in transition. You get layups, you get good opportunities in transition. So if we can keep getting better on the defensive end and rebounding the basketball, I think we'll be fine throughout the season.
So the Jags get their first SWAC win, and they stay undefeated at home. Now, going into this game, Aaron, we kind of kept talking about it, you know, keep that winning streak alive, still undefeated at home. But when you're playing teams, and I mean no offense to this team, like Ecclesia at home, it kind of seems like it falls on deaf ears. But once you get a win versus your rival, Grambling, SWAC play on your home court, then it's saying something about that F.G. Clark Activity Center.
Look, Morgan, you can only play who's on your schedule, who's ever up next on the schedule. But to win any SWAC conference, any league, you have to stay undefeated at home court.
Defend that home court. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's right. Coach Scott preaches how important that is. Plus, when you got fans and a good home-cooked meal, that always helps. The Jaguars got better at home. And the thing about it is the confidence level. I see them screaming, cheering on each other, and it's nice and exciting to see. Well, the women squared off on the Bluff too, so let's get to those highlights right now, Morgan.
Oh, yeah, Aaron, can't forget about the women taking on Grambling as well.
All right, here we go. Brianna Green gives it out to Skylar O'Beer, and she drains the three. Knocks that down and put the Jaguars up. Then Shakila Hill with the assist to keep the Tigers in it.
Hey, you might have heard that name. First quadruple double in about 25 years before this game, but here it's O'Bear saying not so fast. Another three to put the Jags up 24-13 in the second half. Lady Jacks kept it rolling and sent Grambling back home with a loss, 63-44.
It's always good, you know, first off, they always come in here, you know, ready to compete against us. You know, it's a big rivalry game. You see all the fans and everything. So, you know, we had to get the fans what they paid to come see. When we came out today, especially coming off a loss from Prairie View, you know, we just had the mindset, you know, we just had to come out and we had to play our game and not play to the level of our opponent.
The biggest key tonight was staying aggressive defensively because we knew the offense would come. Five just came off a big game. We knew we had to stop that because they're the heart of their offense. So just shut her down, get our defense and offense going.
And, you know, we saw in those highlights for Grambling State, Shakila Hill, as I was saying, quadruple double just a couple games ago. You might have seen her on Sports Center, so we got to give her a little shout out here. But not enough in this one versus Southern. Brianna Green right there. Talk about Jared Sand getting the double doubles. Look at Brianna Green, 15 and 10.
Double doubles all around yesterday. It was great to see. She's playing great. She's their main scorer, so it's good that she's starting to get back in the groove. Skylar O'Beer, who had to guard Shakila Hill a little bit yesterday,
which is not easy to do.
Wasn't afraid. Said, "Look, we took it like it was any other game. We don't get up for the rivalry games." Even though she was coming off that big game, she played well with 13 points. And then off the bench, Courtney Parsons, 10 points. That's what the Jaguars need. They need something off the bench, and it's great to see that Coach Pugh is finally starting to find those players.
Hey, they need that, and they also need a little human jukebox in there. Why not? You know, they don't need to save these guys just for the football team. Here we always bring you the sounds, though, of that human jukebox because you just cannot get enough.
All right, it's time for our first break, but we'll be right back to talk our performer on the week.
And later in the show, we're putting on our running shoes, baby. We're talking some track and field right here on Inside the Jaguar Nation. We'll be right back.
You're watching Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm, with Brian Holland, Morgan Beard, Ashley Lyotis, and Aaron Lee.
Save the best for last, right, Aaron? Hey, welcome back to the show. Morgan Beard, Aaron Lee, just saw our faces. Now you're looking at them again. We're holding it down here in the Jaguar Nation. And it's that time again, our performer of the week as always.
Look, it goes to that double-double versus Grambling, Mr. Jared Sam.
Who else?
I wouldn't say it's part of the strategy, but that is part of the game plan, though. I just so happen to be having a good night at the free throw line. I just know it's important to knock down free throws, especially a close game like this at the end. It's important to knock down free throws. So, yeah.
Every game, the focal point is to get it in. You know, Jared is our leading scorer, so we do try to throw the ball inside a lot to get him going, especially early. And if we find that, you know, that we had an advantage in there early, so we figured we'll keep going to it a little bit. And he did a great job of just being patient and staying with it and staying the course. And like he said, you know, he went to the line, he knocked down free throws, he 11 for 12 from the line. I mean, you can't do, 12 for 12 would be better, but that's a great job, 11 for 12.
He'll take that one missed free throw. Not perfect. Any coach is going to want a perfect thing. But, hey, we know Jared Sam, the leading scorer, averaging 15 points, doing his job on the boards as well, 7 rebounds a game. But who else? We've asked this question before, but who else besides Jared Sam can the Jaguars depend on, Aaron?
Look, we talked about him before. I think it's Jamar Sandifer.
Yeah.
Look, Coach Scott has been looking for consistent players, consistent guard play, and he's finally getting that from Jamar. He talked about being aggressive, having that grit, and you always need guys like that on your team. I'm just waiting to see, can he carry this throughout the SWAC?
Hey, I mean, he had a good game there against Grambling, so maybe that could be the thing that gets the engine turning and getting it going. But, hey, we're just getting started here on this show, right?
Yes, we are.
Time for another break, however, but, of course, it's time for another not live, but a look in there at the human jukebox and a listen.
Always sounding good.
Oh, yeah. But coming up next here on the show, I said we're just getting started. Aaron, tell them what we got coming up.
We have former head basketball coach, now athletic director, Roman Banks, to talk everything Southern. We'll be right back.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
That's right. Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. Now it's time to take a look around the bluff and see what else is going on in the weeks ahead. A lot of sports picking up. Ashley Otis joins us now to break it all down.
The holidays are over and SWAC play is underway over on the Bluff. Let's take a look at how the basketball teams did this week. The men's basketball team started off the new year in Houston, taking on Texas Southern, but they started off with a loss, 78-66. They took on Prairie View on Wednesday, but lost that one as well, 78-74. The women on the same rotation on Monday, they beat Texas Southern 67-57. On Wednesday, they lost to Prairie View 69-62. Coming up this week, the men take on Jackson State at home on Monday. That game scheduled for 7:30. On Saturday, they'll face Arkansas Pine Bluff on the road at 7:30 as well. The women also home, taking on Jackson State at 5:30, then Arkansas Pine Bluff on the road Saturday at 3 o'clock. We'll, of course, have more scores and highlights next week on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
Former men's basketball head coach, now athletic director Roman Banks, caught up with me to talk everything Southern University. The focus this week was academics.
It's powerful from which we came, as they would say. You know, we've been fortunate enough where we got over 50% of our student athletes that had a 3.0. And, you know, then we have another 25% that have a 2.8 or higher. And so, and the number that we graduated this year is one of our highest ever. So, you know, that just showed the commitment of our student athletes and our coaches. And also our Board of Supervisors and President Belton and our administration to help us revitalize and reinvest in athletics. Talk about being a champion. You have to be a champion in the classroom first is our motto. And so, you know, you can't get to the court, the field, the diamond, unless you take care of business in the classroom. And of course, all student athletes that I felt like had a bad rap the way that we were portrayed when we went on, you know, that unusual data ban. And so our student athletes have really been doing their job. Now we're able to push them. They met the challenge even higher. And now a story that wasn't so bright for us a few years ago is an amazing story right now.
Oh, good stuff there from Roman Banks as we take another look and listen at that human
Get
jukebox.
low.
Look at him get low. Aaron, you know, Brian said I could do that. No way. I think you can, though.
A little bit, back in my younger days. All right, coming up next, we talk a little track and field. We'll be right back here with more Inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. I'm Aaron Lee. He's Morgan Beard. And Morgan,
yes.
Let's talk a little track and field.
See, not football, not basketball, not baseball.
We do it all.
Next up, water polo. No, I'm just kidding. But it's nice to actually talk about these kind of sports. You know, you don't hear too much about them in the news, but it's Inside the Jaguar Nation. So, of course, we're all over it. You went there. The Jags competing in the LSU Purple Tiger event, or invite, I should say, this past Friday. It was an event, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice to see the Jaguars there. Look, this was their first meet back from break, so they were trying to get the little kinks out, you know, getting those legs fresh again. So it was a nice atmosphere. It was actually kind of a packed house inside of the invite.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I mean, for track and field, every event that I've been to, mainly in the high school area, but how was this, though? A lot of college, I see people in the stands there, a lot of families, a lot of friends out there, too, huh?
Yeah, they were out there to support the Jaguars, of course, but one big thing is they did well in the shot put. One of the girls had broke SWAC record, so that was great to see out there. So it was also great to see that the SWAC, the
kind of
4x4 women's actually competed in the final yesterday again. So, like I said, the Jaguars are competing as always. And let's hear from the head coach about the overall experience what his team did this past Friday.
It was great to come out and compete today. The kids just getting back on Wednesday, so they haven't really trained with me since the fall. So we had some kids that came in top 8 today. Vashti Hannah, she actually won the long jump today. Jamal Rush, she did pretty good in the shot put and weight today. I think she was second place in those events. We had some freshman kids that really came up and really stepped up for us today. And, you know, well around, you know, I think we're going to be better in the next 2 weeks. It's just muscle memory and just trying to get the kids just to come back and start competing and just have fun with it.
Oh, having fun with it. And that's exactly what's going on right here. This dude getting low. We saw it just a second ago. But can't get enough of that human jukebox. But coming up next, yet another break. But right after that, football is never over here in Baton Rouge, especially for the Southern Jaguars. That schedule, you see a little taste of it right there. Next year already on the brain here on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. Morgan Beard alongside Aaron Lee.
And as always, we're talking SWAC.
Of course.
Look, there's a lot of news going on in the SWAC, and here we have something to break for you. Morgan?
Yeah, about the commissioner. It starts at the very, very top. That man right there on the right, Dewar Sharp, has officially separated from the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The SWAC office announcing the move Wednesday morning, saying Sharp was leaving the conference to, quote, pursue other opportunities. Edgar Gant, formerly the SWAC Associate Commissioner, will now serve as the interim commissioner, and I'm guessing they'll be trying to field applications and offers to find a full-time one. Maybe Gant might step up into that role permanently, but as of right now, interim will be his title. Sharp's departure became official December 31st, according to the SWAC release. But Aaron, let's talk some better news. Football, baby.
All right, on a happier note, the Jaguars released their football schedule for next season, and I can't wait. They kick it off on the road at TCU September 1st. Then we got homecoming. We all looking forward to homecoming. Alcorn State on the 29th of September. And then we got the Bayou Classic. The Jaguars looking for a little revenge on November 24th.
Ooh, are you ready for that game?
I'm ready. I'm ready to be back out there on the bluff in the scorching 102 heat. Covering those Southern Jaguars.
Quick question, your opinion. You think the coaching staff, you think they are already looking forward to next, or are they kind of decompressing right now, taking a little break?
I know Coach Odoms right now is looking forward to getting back at Grambling.
Of course.
Getting the game plan, looking for a quarterback possibly, but I know he's ready to get back to the swing of things.
Yeah, like we said earlier, you know, football definitely never stops here in Baton Rouge. I know that schedule, releasing all the fans, everybody, and you know the players too. You know, even though they might want to be resting bodies, taking care of some things, they're looking at that. They're circling, getting the markers out, circling this, circling that.
They're looking forward, just like we're looking forward to it. Morgan, what you looking forward to? That Jackson State?
Jackson State. It's weird what they do. For people that may not know much about Southern, you know, it's not really a home and home. The last couple of years it's been at Jackson State, then they do 2 at Southern. I'm not even really sure of the agreement they have going on, but another time in Jackson State, I went there this year, and maybe I can make another appearance there.
Make another appearance on the road?
Hey, they did win when I was there, so.
Look, you are good luck, maybe.
Hey, maybe. Hopefully no power outages or rainstorms like they had this past year.
Hopefully.
Hey, but that's it for this edition of Inside the Jaguar Nation. Morgan Beard, Aaron Lee.
Another great show, Morgan.
Always, my friend. Hey, same time, same place, and for Brian Holland and Ashley Lyotis, of course, here on Inside the Jaguar Nation. We will see you guys next time.
See you next week.
Winning doesn't happen overnight without a championship mindset. Come join me, head coach Morris Scott, and the SU Jags men's basketball team as we prepare for the upcoming season at the Mini Dome. Come join us. Go get your tickets today. Go Jags.